Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to bring you the New England Patriots. But before I get into the Patriots, NFL season's right around the corner, and I just wanted to talk about the power rankings I have for these teams. So as you can see here, I have the power rankings of the teams that I like. Now, usually when it gets up here to the top 3, top 4, I'm not really focused on uh, perfection, if that makes sense. I'm not focused on if, oh, I got the #1 team on top. That's not the issue here. The issue here is trying to get these teams as close as possible to each other in the same area, right? Because if they're in the same area, so let's say for instance, if Arizona Cardinals is facing the Bills, now the Cardinals is going to take a step back because they lost Hopkins and Brown. Obviously, I got Brown and D-Hop over here, and they're definitely going to start off in the average range. So that's going to be a little, let's see, I'm going to mark that in red right now. I'm looking at them to go down. So red, just to be clear, red is teams that's going to be starting, or not starting, but are going down on the list. Green may be teams going up on the list. So I'm going to keep track of this throughout the season each week, see where we are. And going back to what I was saying, so I'm trying to get the teams in the same vicinity of one another. And it's not really about, should I say, if I have the right team as #1. No, what it's about is, do I have the top teams together properly? Because let's say for instance, again, Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals, I'm looking at maybe if they were to play, well, let's actually do another one. Let's say for instance, the Colts versus the Rams. If they were to play, I'm looking at the Rams to win. Probably I want to give them a 2.5 to win, right? Because they're in the same vicinity up here, right? Now, if it's the Rams versus, let's go down here, versus the New York Giants, with the information we've seen, I definitely like the under, especially if it's under 45.5. And I do like the Rams to win by like at least like maybe a touchdown. Well, they definitely can win by a touchdown, but due to the information we've seen over the years, you know, this is a touchdown is really where I want that team to be. Obviously the Rams could blow out the Giants, it's no problem, but are they going to do it? They pretty much can do what they want. They probably throw it in practice or have this as a practice game for them. Who knows? But as far as the numbers, as far as the information we gathered and collected, the Rams can blow this team out, and they will blow them out and be under the total. So as you can see, I got a 143 right there. That is the percentage. So say for instance, we have the New York Giants, right? And I feel like they can only win 7 games. So if I feel like they can only win 7 games this year, that is 143 as far as percentage. So every time they win, this is going to equal up until I get to 100%. So if they are winning, let's say for instance they go on a little winning streak, win 3 games in a row, right? That's pretty much almost, that's almost, if not close to 50%. I'm looking at them to lose the next 4. So I'm going to go in that in a little more detail in later videos. But that's what I'm doing this season as far as my power rankings go. As far as power ratings, again, I looked at each team, I evaluate each team, I try to figure out if the team is going to improve this year, take a step back this year, or stay neutral this year. And going back to the Patriots, I think the Patriots are a team that's going to stay neutral. So let's get into the Patriots, and let's get into the opponents. So one of the things about the Patriots, they did win 10 games. Now, I do like a -2.5 for the Patriots. If you're going to go to the under, a 47.5. If you're going to go to the over, a 48.5. But if you just want to get it down to 47.5, and have that your middle number as far as unders and overs, I don't blame you. Now, one of the things that I did notice is that you have 9 games to the under. 9 games. If you count here, it'll show you 9 games to the under of 47.5. Then you have 8 games to the over of 48.5. So depending on where the number is, we can definitely do our best to gain an edge with that information. And most of the games that went to the under are away games. So now, as we look at the Patriots and look at who they played, Houston Texans, Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, they were all terrible last year. The New York Jets, in the first week, the Jets, at the end of the season, for some reason, the Jets started putting up a lot of points, or yeah, a lot of points against teams, and that total was like in the 50s, 60s. So that was kind of interesting to me. I kind of noticed that about the Jets. So I'm going to make sure I keep my eye on the Jets this year, see what they're doing, see where they're going as far as putting up points on teams and if teams are allowing that. Then you have Buffalo, obviously, for obvious reasons. Buffalo uh, only put up 10 points. Well, there isn't obvious reasons, but what I mean by that is they're divisional opponents, and divisional opponents are a lot tougher on each other. But going back into it, next time they faced Buffalo, they went to the over. So depending on how they play against Buffalo this year, it may be the similar outcome where if one game's to the under, the other game might be to the over. We definitely have to keep our eye on that. Same thing, this Miami Dolphins team. You have one game to the under, one game to the over. So we can avoid the first game when they play each other, Miami and the Buffalo Bills, as well as the Jets. That looks like a consistent pattern, So we just wait when they face the Jets, the Bills, or the Miami Dolphins. We just bet the opposite the next game. I mean, I think they can repeat on some of the things they've been doing, except for Miami. I think Miami's going to get finer like wine, or age. You know the saying, you know what I'm trying to say. But the thing is, I think Miami is actually going to get better as the season progresses. uh, like, yeah, the saying, you age like wine, whatever. But you know what I'm trying to get at. So later in the season, I think Miami is actually going to have a better season as long as Tua stay healthy. If Tua stay healthy this season, Miami will have a okay season. But if he doesn't, they're going to have problems. And then you have a new head coach. I have to evaluate the new head coach they have and see if he's worth anything with that group of talent. That's the only thing that could bring that team down, is the head coach. So we look at that. Also, if we go over here, we can see that Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they went to the under. Obviously, Tom Brady came from the Patriots, so that going to the under, since they know Tom Brady tendencies, is not surprising. And this New Orleans team, that's an interesting right there. I can't really put my finger on that one, but as we can see, divisional opponents, they play each other, and we're gonna do that that game. That All right, whatever they do this week, we're gonna bet the opposite. I'm gonna see if that continues to fly. Let's get into their opponents. So actually, let's go back. 9 games were to the under, 8 games to the over. 48.5, 9 games to the 46 to the under, which is 47.5. Then we have a spread of a -2.5 to the opponents. Everything in orange, I feel like they're gonna have the most problems against, and everything in light blue are the divisional opponents as well. You have Miami. I still think Miami is going to lose this game, and this game may go to the under, since everybody's trying to get on the same page as far as chemistry go, as far as new head coach, what the new head coach want to try to get done. And you have Bill Belichick versus a new head coach. I mean, yeah, I think Patriots gonna win that one. Steelers, I do like the Steelers in this. Well, for obvious reasons, it's my favorite team. The Ravens, I think these two teams can definitely give them problems. I think those two games will be towards the under. I don't see them throwing a lot of points on the board, especially this Ravens team. The wide receivers, who they gonna throw the ball to? This Pittsburgh Steelers team, on the other hand, they have wide receivers. How is the quarterback going to perform? And then you have Green Bay. Again, you have Aaron Rodgers. I'm totally confident in Aaron Rodgers' skills to get it done. What are you going to? Who are you going to throw the football to? Sammy Watkins is already on the unable to perform list. So, I mean, you only have Lazard, and he just came back from injury. So it's going to be a interesting season. They're going to do a lot of more defense, a lot of defensive schemes, running the football, and having Aaron Rodgers being a game manager. Detroit Lions. I'm looking at a win right there. Cleveland Browns. I do like that game to the under. I do like the Chicago Bears team to go to the under, depending on how Fields is performing and how this Bears team is doing. I think the Bears probably going to struggle early. I have to look at their schedule, but it's not looking good. They've just been getting worse and worse. The Jets. That may go to the over. It may go to the over. I do like that Jets team as far as putting up points, not as far as winning games. You have the Indianapolis Colts. I do think that game's going to go to the over, and they will lose that one, especially before a bye. Going into a Jets game, yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. Then you have this Minnesota Vikings team in between two divisional opponents. I do like the Minnesota Vikings to win that game. Going into it, you have the Buffalo Bills after, depending on what they do to this Bills team, if they go over or under. But if they lose this game, depending on the trend, the edge, we're going to look at the trend, see how they perform after a loss. I may go to the over. Also, that's a home game. So if it's a home game, I definitely look at the over in that. Over. Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of problems because Arizona's going to have to fight at the end of the season. Las Vegas Raiders. They might have problems with the Raiders depending on the health of the team. Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to see where the Bengals are at this point of the season when, as far as the Patriots is concerned, you know, if you're watching this video. But yeah, the Bengals, we're going to see how they've been performing. If not, I think they're going to take a step back. And if so, this may go to the under and the Patriots might come out with a win. But they do have Miami and the Bills to play. So that might be a win for the Bengals, thinking about it. But that's all I have. Going back to this video, hopefully I did say that most of the unders or away games. So going back to the opponents, if we do that, Miami, their way, Pittsburgh, obviously under. You have Green Bay Packers, obviously to the under. Cleveland Browns, that, yeah, obviously to the under. Yeah, New York Jets, that's the only odd one. I think the Jets probably, this game could probably go to the over, looking at the Jets and how they're performing. And I'm going to see how they're doing. But yeah, that's what I have. Let's see, this Vikings team, and then they have a look ahead to the Bills that has probably to the under. Yeah, I'm gonna go that route. Cardinals, I'm gonna avoid these games here, and the Buffalo Bills, depending on how they play against the Bills this game, I might look at the Buffalo Bills to go to the over or under in this one. So that's what I have for you today. Hopefully this video wasn't as choppy and I didn't stumble over my words that much. I'm trying to fix that, but coming off the top of my head with all this information, you're gonna flutter here and there. But with all that said, like, subscribe, share. I'm gonna start pumping out these videos a lot more since football season is here. And and another thing. Hopefully in the beginning of the video, I'm not sure if I said this, I had to redo this video. But I did make a bet in preseason. I'm not really good at preseason football, or I'm not really interested, should I say. But I did make a bet, and I'm leaning towards more teams with good backup quarterbacks. So a good backup quarterback team, Washington, you have Winston Heineke. You have Let's see, Minnesota, Green Bay, no. New Orleans, Hill, Winston. Atlanta, you have Mariota and the rookie quarterback. I'm not really sure. I forgot his name. Carolina Panthers, you do have Sam Donald and you have Baker Mayfield. Arizona Cardinals, I think Colt McCoy, he actually was producing last year when Murray went down, so look at that. San Fran, Lance, Garoppolo, Seattle, you have Geno, Drew Luck. And these are all preseason. This is, if you're going to bet anything, you might as well have a quarterback who's going to at least perform somewhat. You know what I mean? So that's my take on preseason. Let's see who else. Denver, Atlanta, Jacksonville, and I think that Pitt. You have Kenny Pickett and you have Mitch Trubisky. And then, and Baltimore has a good rookie or a good backup too. I think it's Huntley, I believe, because you got who is it? I'm drawing a blank here, but you got the starting quarterback, and you have Huntley as the backup. I can't remember. I can't believe that I slipped that name. That name slipped me, but whatever. But that's what I have. If you're gonna bet the preseason, again, have a good backup quarterback on teams that you're gonna bet, especially if you're getting points. It's my take on it. But like, subscribe, share, and um, definitely bet wisely. Definitely bet wisely. And you know what? I think the reason why I forgot his name because he's in the same division as Pittsburgh. So like, subscribe, share, bet wisely, and most importantly, make sure you take care of your bankroll this year. All right, later.